Cool.
Ready? Okay, why don't you take us off?
Okay, so this is
whenever you're ready
Jesus
to take
Christ,
us off,
Paul. I'm reading
go
this
ahead.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, go ahead.
This is a test pilot.
Right, and it's just...
For the show.
Go ahead.
Our show.
Yep.
The Perfect Crime.
Right.
So, and this is
So
what we're
do an introduction.
Okay, I'm trying to, and you've immediately ruined this. Okay.
Whenever you're ready to go ahead and introduce the podcast.
Okay, so here's the thing.
So what we're doing...
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you good? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So my friend...
Welcome to Perfect Crime with
People
Paul
gonna be listening
Muchek
to this with
and
headphones.
Mike...
Can you say my last name? Do you know it?
Pepperoni.
He's my friend, and he doesn't know how to pronounce.
Well, I just know that it's Italian, which is the important part.
That is the important part.
Because I have lots of ideas for great crimes, and I was looking for an Italian around to
Just
help me out.
Looking around Minneapolis for Italians. There's dozens of us.
To help me out with vetting these crimes. I'm assuming you know somebody from the mafia.
I got some certain connections. We don't have to talk about it right now.
Yeah, okay. So
it's like Fight Club. Just don't worry about it.
So I'm going to pitch you some crimes.
I'd love to hear them.
And you're going to listen, and then you're probably going to tell me about why they're great and get me
You seem like a brilliant man, and I'm sure you got great ideas.
Great. Into the next field, right? Can
Yeah.
I meet with some people?
We'll see. I might be able to introduce you to a couple folks.
What do I say to them when I meet them?
You probably just don't talk.
Okay.
As little as possible.
All right. Well, should we get started?
Yes.
Okay, so different ideas, different size crimes. I want this to be feel free. This is like a loose pitches, know.
Like an elevator pitch almost.
Right, and some of them I think are more fleshed out. Some of them are a little more raw. You know, should we say raw? Raw?
Sure.
Okay.
We can say raw.
They're raw. Okay, so the first idea, we're gonna go to a small town in Middle America somewhere.
Sure.
I don't know. Your Oklahoma City, or even smaller than that, like Pompanoramacum.
That's a city in Oklahoma.
Yes. Okay. So small town. It's a 10 to 15 crew member job. One internet guy. You only need one of those. Which is good because I think sometimes. One internet guy.
Internet guy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Computer guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to. There's gonna be. It's like we're looking for a town that has like one main bank. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start researching the bank manager. That's the first job, is some reconnaissance, sort out, what do we know about this guy? What can we find out? And we'll get a little intel on the bank manager. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you have a dramatist come in to the bank wearing eccentric clothing, a little bit different styles and things.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the bank man. You have this guy, or
he's coming in. He's wearing clothes.
Yeah, but like
weird
different style.
Sure,
kind
stands out.
Yeah. Like maybe it's purple trench coat, like some velour, like I don't know, lots of jewelry. Probably rings up each finger.
Looks like he's flaunting his cash.
Mm-hmm. So he comes in and he just is very polite, and he's talking to people, and he waits for the bank manager to walk out, and then starts the scene. And what he does is he's talking to just a regular teller, and he turns and he sees the bank manager, and he says something about his past that we've already researched up a little bit in a way that makes him appear psychic. Okay, so we're starting with the psychic. That's the first part. And he's just dropping the hint. So something along the lines of, he's flouncing and doing his whatever. Or she, it could be a woman too, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Equal equality.
Don't you think
thieving.
it could be? Or do you think it could be?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And so they would they would kind of hint at the bank manager that I'm psychic. And when you were a child, did you ride a blue bike? They would just give this one little weird thing, and then there would be nothing else to it. And the bank manager would continue about for a while, like a week, long enough for him to sort of forget, or her to forget what's going on. The gender thing, hold on. When I pitched this to the higher-ups of the mafia, how do they feel about the gender talk? What should I do about it? It's 2020.
Just say...
They?
You could. A person is dressed as a psychic.
Okay, and they're talking
you don't have to get all awkward about
it. A bank manager.
Yeah.
Could be a man, could be a woman, could be anything else, but their bank manager is the important
That's
part.
the most important part about that.
Okay, so...
It's their job.
I'll refine. All right. Okay, so then the next part with the internet guy we're going to need to do is we're going to need to start posting articles, and we're going to need to make them look old, okay? And they're going to talk about a death that happened at the bank.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Back in a long time ago.
Sure.
Okay. And they're going to claim that it might be haunted. You know, we're going to make up all these articles, all these social media posts. It's haunted. And there's just going to be a lot of these different things. And so then we send in another like one or two people, and they're just going to kind of mention the haunting stories low-key, just to get it on the bank's mind.
Sure.
Okay, so we're all just implanting these ideas. This is probably maybe even a year at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a month.
The year's fine.
Okay, so then the psychic's going to come back. And he's going to be talking to people. We're going to have a couple more facts for him to sort of drop on the bank manager. And then another one. You seem concerned about, you know, all this news that's been popping up recently. And it's old, but it's been popping up recently about this haunting. And well, if you ever need anything, let me know. And then... Okay, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to plant a couple of booby traps in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about one that would be pretty good, which would be...
Go on.
Like we would give them money, you know, but we would put, like, messages that glow in the dark on them. So, you know, you come in, they'd have some cash, and then they'd be pulling out the cash at the end of the night. As they put it in the safe, a little glow, you know, and like, what is that? And then it would say, you know, Jane, 1812, or something like that.
Sure.
Just these different little, but lots of ideas like that. We could spitball on that anytime. That's not a problem. Booby traps are easy, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, they're pretty easy. Okay. So now we've got the bank manager. Do you agree that if you were a bank manager, you'd be pretty fucking lost and freaked out and fucked crazy?
It depends on the bank manager.
Okay. More booby traps.
All right, yeah. Just get to the heist.
Okay, so, all right. So there's enough booby traps that the bank manager is freaked out.
He's just jumping over at booby traps left and right.
Yeah, maybe
spooky traps.
Yeah. This is a lot of setup. I probably could have summed up this whole thing up into we freak the bank manager out.
Okay.
And he calls the psychic, and the psychic offers to stay overnight at the bank with the bank manager.
Okay.
To rid the bank of these strange inhabitants.
Sure.
Okay. So, now here's heist night. Is the psychic joining him in the bank. He's going to come and he's going to antagonize. Thank you. Antagonize the ghosts. You know. Ghosts! Get out of here. Come on. Come talk to me. Blah, blah, blah. He's going to build this whole thing up like a Ghost Adventures episode.
Sure.
And so that gives us a freedom to bam, bam, bam. We can make noises all over the bank, you know. And the psychic is going to like run to each noise and kind of like make a drama show about the whole shebang. And he's, what was that over there? And then he and the bank manager They'll run over there. They'll run over here. And the bank manager is going to start to worry because something is up. This is clearly a sham and a scam. And that's the key.
Okay.
We're going to have the bank manager the psychic hear something by the vault. I heard something by the vault.
Okay.
And he's going to go running to the vault. And the bank manager is going to think, I'm a big smart person. And I'm going to go make sure he's not doing anything. Because now I'm on to him. Now they're full of shit.
Yeah.
And so the bank manager goes to the vault. But we're not after what's inside the vault.
Okay.
The secret is we're taking the quarters. All the quarters that the bank has.
Okay.
Okay? They're not even going to notice. Because, realistically, how much is that? Probably, I don't know, $100? How many dollars in quarters do you think that the bank
I suppose
has?
that depends on the research, isn't it? Don't it?
You can fidget and slam the table.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry. I get excited.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to take all the quarters.
Okay.
And
Gotta research how many quarters are in the bank.
It doesn't even matter, though, because the key is we're drying the city out of quarters. That's when the real money-making scheme starts.
Oh, God. All right.
At the same time, we have our other 10 to 15 people going into all the apartment buildings, smashing open all the laundry and dryer machines that run off of quarters, taking all those quarters. Where else are quarters? Vending machines. There's going to be a great vending machine looting of 2021 or whatever in this town, and nobody's going to have quarters. Then we are going to pretend to be government peoples. We're going to put on suits, and we're going to go into the bank, and we're going to say, we heard you ran out of quarters. We have a few. We have a few quarters that you might want, and we will gladly give them to you in exchange for like a little bit of a markup on the quarters. And we'll want that on what's the unmarked bills, I think. Yeah.
Sure.
And then we leave, and we can probably mark up those quarters 50%. 50 cents on the quarter.
So we make $1 per quarter.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then clean cash is already laundered.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Why the quarters? Because, a lot of those vending machines, they, have card slots in them now. So there's probably already not quarters in them. And also, and washing dryers use cards a lot now, too.
Well, it's an old town. It's a small town.
Yeah, but the features reaching these small towns every day.
Well, we need the quarters because otherwise the psychic is going to get caught in pretty much what I didn't say that I should admit now is that you have to pick somebody for the psychic who you're willing to let them take the fall. Because they're probably going to get recognized.
Sure. Another big problem, taking 10 to 15 people down to Oklahoma for up to a year, you said?
A month or a year.
A month to a year.
Yeah.
So 1 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Where are we staying? What's the room and board situation going to be? Especially for only going after quarters.
They don't need to be there the whole time. All the different people.
Okay. Are they going to be compensated for the gas along the way?
Maybe. How much could that even cost, though?
I don't know. Are we going from Minnesota to Oklahoma?
We could probably get a few local Oklahomans.
We could try. I'm just saying, for how much money are we going to make off quarters? Now, is there a reason you're not going after the vault?
We're not going after the vault because the psychic is clearly made.
Also, that's another thing. So the whole basis of this plan is that the bank manager, who we tricked into believing a psychic, also must believe that the whole thing is a sham.
Well, they're going to catch on to it. I'm worried they're going to catch on. That's my concern. I want to think one step ahead of them.
Okay.
So we're going to get them hooked, but they're going to not... I mean, people don't always believe that stuff for like a long time, you know. And if they've got the guy overnight, they're going to start to really question their decisions up to that point. And so I want to play into that. That's why I'm taking the quarters, not the vault.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Do you think we could take dollars too? The other reason I thought that
you got to worry about those ink packs.
Yeah, and that's I thought the other reason. Everybody needs quarters. Everybody wants quarters for laundry, vending machine, you know, these old things. And if we have all the town's quarters, they're gonna get upset when their laundry's dirty and stuff, and they can't do it.
Also, now you're expecting to be able to drain an entire town of every quarter?
Well, I think a good chunk.
50 to 60%.
Yeah.
Because you don't think anyone just has a, you know, if we're living in a town where people are desperate for quarters, how many apartment buildings that are restricted? You know, I'm saying there's going to be a lot of research. Because if we're going to a small town, it might not be, you know, a lot of apartments that rely, you know.
Well, why do they need quarters in small towns? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying there might be a lot of residential areas that just have free wash machines because they own them.
Okay.
You know, we could...
Okay, let's do another scam.
Okay. We're moving on to the next scam.
You can try that out if you'd like.
Also, I mean, putting in the work to make fake documents and backdate them. You know, I'm not a computer guy.
Oh, okay. I mean, Donald Trump says stuff like you could just pay those guys like $20 or something and tell them you'll give them more money later, and then you just don't. I think.
I don't know where that tangent came from. My point is, I don't know. We're going into a town that probably, you know, a smaller town probably knows their own history, and then we're creating a fabric of, oh no, these outsiders, these random 10 to 15 people that had just showed up, and also this weird psychic who wears gold rings and purple trench coats. These guys clearly, they know the town. They know that this bank is haunted because we know them in this town of 100 to 300.
Well,
at the town bank, there's probably only one or two banks.
Okay. Let's move on. Okay.
We're moving on. Okay. I'd give that a 5.
You know, I mean, I have to think about it because
you could use some refinement.
There are a couple things in there that you did point out that probably will not make this the best scam.
Okay.
And you're right, profit margins probably can be pretty tough.
It's tough to keep a gang of 10 to 15 people for up to a year and then only steal quarters. I think that's your big, you know.
Okay.
That's a tough sell to the boss.
Now, this next one, you may have heard about. Well, no. All right. I have these many ideas that instead of calling them scams, I prefer to call them SAPs.
Okay, bit of a rebrand. I like it.
The reason I do that is SAP.
Sure.
Which is Scam Assistance Program.
Okay.
So I like to think about, what do the scammers need? How could I help the scammers scam? So this is called the Karen Cure.
Give me that one more time.
The Karen Cure.
Karen Cure.
Yeah, so have you heard about this thing on social media about the Karens?
The Karens, horrible white women who call the police on
and they
black neighbors.
Yes, terrible like that. Another thing they do that's not great is that they always ask to speak to the manager.
Yeah, bank managers sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a lot of call center style scamming going on in the world.
Sure.
You know, people are trying to run this thing. They say, hey, we're the IRS. You have to call us back. And they're always trying to get the call back, or whatever. I want to start a service for those call center scammers to deal with the Karens. So whenever one of those guys wants to speak to a manager and they're kind of getting rowdy and lippy and whatever, I will take that call from them. I will be the manager.
Okay.
And then I will explain in a here's the voice, sort of. I think I can teach most people kind of how to do this.
Sure.
I understand what you're saying, but this is a legit organization, and it might seem confusing to you, but you need to do whatever the person who just called says. And I will speak in very commanding tone, like so.
I was scared. That was commanding for
Thank
me.
you. Yeah, do you want to try it?
Try the voice? All right. Is there a line reading you can give me? What did he say? Hold on. I understand, Karen.
Yes.
This is a legitimate business, and you need to be told what to do. Because you're most likely 80 and confused already.
Perfect. So that would be the business model. Now, the thing is, the secret is, we actually don't have to be that effective. Because we're going to take the money from the scam artists up front.
Sure.
A small, very, very, nominal fee to do this job. And then even if we do a terrible job, they're scam artists. They can't do anything to us afterward. And in a way, we're kind of Robin Hoods of the modern world for doing this scam. It's a sap. I mean, this sap.
The sap.
That's the sap.
That's a sap. Now, I personally don't really fall for those traps.
Neither do I. I don't know, but some people must because they keep doing it
mostly
day in,
mostly
day
the
out.
elderly.
The elderly. That's really rough. Really.
It's a whole thing. It's not great. So, but hey, we're criminals. We're not here to judge morality.
That's true. I mean, I have another one that's just pushing down old people and taking it with
I'd love to hear it. I think that's just mugging. I don't know if that's really a scam. But we can talk about it later.
Later on that one. There's some more to it, like how you push them down and how hard and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, because then it upgrades from mugging to murder, depending on how hard you push an old person.
Right. No killing, no blood on the floor.
Well, we'll talk about it.
A little blood somehow. The blood thinner thing. I'm trying to figure out how to get notes from them ahead of time about if they have blood thinners. Okay, sorry. So much. Okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
I want to keep talking because this is the I don't mean to be. I find this to be the more interesting.
Okay. Listen. Okay.
Scam.
Here's the problem: when you push a lot of old people over, my worry is some of them will have blood thinners,
and also their bones are very brittle because they're old.
Well, right. So how can I get their medical information ahead of time so that I know how to push them, how hard, what's going to do them in proper. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Why not just regular mug them and not push them? Why don't you just have a gun and say, give me your money, please?
Pretty noticeable. Because I was going to make it look like accidents.
So all these old people around town are falling down, and then also their wallets are gone? / their gold? Well, the ring.
Yeah, but where did it go, ma'am? And then she's gonna say, "I don't know what happened.
I was pushed, and then they're not gonna be like, oh, I fell down, and then suddenly my rings were gone. There's gonna be people, maybe you or me, just ripping the rings out their fingers, perhaps violently, to get over their weird, gross, gnarled, those weird knuckles that old people have because they're all gross.
It's true. That's gonna be rough, and to do bone on bone, pulling those rings off.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very fun for me or you.
Or the old person, I imagine.
Probably not for them either. Maybe for them sometimes.
Maybe it's a thrill. I don't know, and I'm not paid to know.
Okay, well, let me think of... I do think that old people are a rich market for crime.
Absolutely.
And in a way...
They still carry cash?
In a way, you could kind of justify it because...
yeah, absolutely.
They're kind of like...
Because they're already close to death, so who gives a shit?
Right. And they want to give their money away. So I'm just sort of helping them sort out what to do. I'm a will...
By breaking their bones and stealing their
a lawyer does it, and he makes a will, and it's called, oh, you're a fucking hero. You know?
You're not wrong. I'm just saying, look, it's not the mugging the old people. It's more just, why do we have to, why not just a gun and a mask? Because then they don't know who you are. And if you push an old person, they're going to know that someone shoved them. They're not...
Well, what do you think stopped people from doing that so far with the gun and the mask on the old persons?
I'm pretty sure old people get mugged like all the time. I don't think it's a new thing, unless they're just.
Do you think you could do a lot of them at once at a nursing home?
You could probably just dress up as an orderly and just like loot all their places.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Nursing homes.
Yeah, just dress up as an orderly. Try to get it at shift change, so not a lot of people are coming through who would know your face. Just rummage. A lot of those people are on drugs and sleeping.
I mean, how much stuff do you think they even have in there, though?
All their old jewelry?
What?
Jewelry.
Their old fake jewelry?
You don't know it's fake.
I guess we'd have to do it at a rich town, huh?
We could also take a bunch of shit to appraisers.
Okay.
And it's like, this is garbage, this is plastic. Oh, this is real gold and a ruby from 10 BC.
Okay. I'm logging that in. That's a good scam. I'm going to figure out how to make it even better from here.
Okay.
I love old people. I love
It sounds like you love them, yeah.
Old people. All
right. Like you're a real fan of the elderly.
Anyway, back to the care and cure thing. I think this could be a quick way for us to make $100,000 a year, no problem.
$100,000 a year?
Yeah.
Because
$5,000 a scam person. And for a yearly contract.
So whatever... And are you sure that these call centers don't already have a manager?
Well, they don't have they might not have a manager that's as convincing and as effective as someone like me.
Okay.
And also, I will prove it to them.
I'm just making sure we got. Is it worth the money for them to pay us instead of just hanging up on a person they know they already are off the hook?
It's not worth it for them, but they don't know that.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna have one of those charts. I'm gonna bring it in, and I'm gonna show them, and it's gonna have an up arrow on a stock market, and then I will use
stock
that.
Market arrow.
Yeah, I'll use that. Do you need me to draw it for you?
It
kind of goes.
I understand what you don't need to draw. This isn't a visual medium. We don't need to draw anything.
Well, I'm gonna bring that in, and I'm going to kind of say this metric covers pretty much everything that we do. And for you, this is time, this is money, this is freedom, and most importantly, this is happiness.
Sure.
Give me $5,000 and I will make this happen for you. I'll point at the sign behind me and then I'll look at them. Until they give me
$5,000.
The money.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's less. I like the plans that it's just you and maybe me and a few other people. It's a small. We don't need to shell out.
How often do they want to talk to the managers anyway? I mean, realistically.
Well, I don't know. See, this is what we need. We need to do some research into this one.
Okay.
We need to, maybe the next time a telemarketer calls us, we pick up and be like, hey, we're working on a little scam of our own. How many times are you on the phone, potentially with a middle-aged white woman? Are they hanging up on, are they in the age bracket where they are able to be tricked, or are they asking for the manager? Because I'm guessing that it's like anyone plus 70 is going to take those calls because they just want someone to talk to. You know, 60 down, especially in 2020. Our generation and younger.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've caught on to this game too much to be like, ugh, telemarketers. Let's talk to this guy.
Okay, I got an idea for you now. Do you think we could blackmail them into signing up for our service? So they call us, we answer the phone, and we pretend like we're going to go through the scam. And then at the last minute we say, I know what you're up to, and I got all your shit recorded, and I'm going to fuck you if you don't sign up and give me $5,000 a year. In exchange, I will be your manager.
Well,
kind of a blackmail service combo.
Well, here's the thing with that. Is I don't think telemarketing, even the scams, are necessarily illegal. I'd have to look up, the whole thing.
Okay.
Because it's, I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Because, they're getting all the numbers off, like Facebook and stuff. People selling all the information and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Okay.
And then they get the call. So I don't know. We just have to figure out. And also, are they in another country? Can we blackmail a person in another country? Where are these call centers coming from? Are they in the U.S.? Because then maybe. But what are we going to blackmail them and then? Because they're not going to be. We're not going to get the president to be like, oh, hey, we got them. We got the telemarketers.
Okay, you know what? This idea is terrible too. So. I think we should talk about one more. This one I hold particularly close to my heart, and you've heard it before. Whatever. So this is a personal favorite idea of mine, and I've already got a lot of steps in place to get this off the ground and in production. And I think really what I'm looking for from you is some compliments and not criticism.
I'll do my
because
best.
It's pretty much perfect. Okay?
Okay, well, if it's perfect, then it will be only compliments.
When you think about a grocery store,
okay,
what is the most valuable sort of items in the grocery store?
Bread.
No, come on. It's the meat.
Okay.
Everybody wants meat, and everybody wants good meat.
Sure.
I mean, have you tried to buy a filet mignon from the store before?
Yes.
Like 2 little ones, tiny, like the size of, I don't know, your index finger and your thumb wrapped together and to make an okay sign.
Yeah.
That size.
A circle of meat.
Yeah, you're talking about like $40 for 2 of them for date night.
Yeah.
$20 a person, and you're still gonna be hungry afterwards. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good for stealing.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
because you built it up as this horrible deal, and then you're like, that's pretty good. Like it was a great thing.
It's horrible. It's good for us now.
Okay,
it used to be horrible, and now it's good. I'm
okay,
sorry. I should have said it like that.
Yes,
it used to be.
Why
bad,
is it good for
now
us? I'd love to hear this.
Well, what I plan to do is things like imagine taking 15 of those filet mignons and grabbing one of those tubes of ground beef, ground chuck.
Sure.
And cutting it open, stuffing it with the filet mignons instead. Okay? And then you go up to the cashier. It's in its tube, and it's also in the plastic bag on the outside of it. And bling, you just paid $4.99 for 15 filet mignons. That is a markup on profit like nobody ever believed. First thing you get for free is delicious meals for you and your family and friends for the future. And that's undeniably awesome. But the second thing you could do is you could keep up this racket at different stores, different shops around town, and you could try it with different kinds of meats. Just basically any high quality meat, you put it in a low quality meat package, and then you walk out with it. Then you could set up, in your trunk. You could have a little store. You could have a little sign up, and you could say half price meats from the grocery store, fresh today, and you could sell them for half the price. You'd still make a profit, and you'd have meat to eat when you get home.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's an idea.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. So simple. Genius. Except,
beautiful.
It's all right. So first thing,
it's probably the best idea I've ever had.
Yeah. So
it's really good.
So first things first.
Free meat.
Well, it's not free because you're still paying.
Cheap meat.
It's cheap meat.
Very cheap. Cheap fancies.
So
I mean, have you even eaten the filet mignon before?
Yeah.
I haven't. What does it taste like?
It's like steak. I don't know. It's
okay.
Like good. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Tell me what you think about it. It's a good idea, right?
No. Because here's the thing. Because, all right, so first of all, so you're just scooping out, so you're cutting open a ground beef package.
Mm-hmm.
You're scooping out just the meat.
You could probably put it in the filet mignon package, actually, if you'd like.
That's okay. Which actually brings me to my second point, is that you're like switching meat juices around, and they're getting all infected with each other.
Ooh, but it's uncooked, right? Doesn't matter.
I think it matters a little bit. I think it matters a good amount.
It can't matter. I mean, if you cook beef, if you cook chicken, what do? You cook it, all the bad turns to good.
But if you put the
you could even put the filet mignon in
as
the
Gordon
chicken.
Ramsay once said, it's fucking raw.
Yeah, but then it's cooked.
But then no, because it's already infected with the salmonella and all the other gross diseases meat juice carries.
Now that doesn't. But that doesn't. I don't
Au
think.
jus, as the French say.
I don't think most people would be concerned with something like that, because it doesn't really make sense. Because if you have raw meat, right? It's full of diseases. It's full of killers. It's full of bacteriums and corona and everything else, right? Raw meat, full of shit, right?
Sure.
Cooked meat, you cooked all the shit out of it.
I don't.
So
I think it's like,
why can't you just mix up the types of bad stuff in there in the beginning? You're gonna cook it out.
Look, I'm not a scientist, all right?
I'm not either. I'm just using my common fucking sense.
It's like it's fine if it's an own packaged thing, but then once you like mix them, it's just like it's just when you mix. It's like it's in its own thing, and this meat is in its own thing. It's got its own juice and meaty goodness, and this one has this, and it's contained and it's fine in its own separate package. But once you open it and you pull the switch, and you sell that, first of all, out of a fucking trunk on the highway.
Which is cheap. It's an affordable way to do it. You could get a stand.
Who's coming to this trunk on the side of the road? How much money are you really going to make there?
I'm thinking the parking lot of the store, not the highway.
Well, sorry, I shouldn't have said highway, but you're going to do it in the fucking parking lot?
Yeah.
You're just going to go right outside and just be like, free meat? Cheap meat?
Yeah. From the farm.
And how do you stop them from calling the cops on you?
You move around.
You move around. Parking lot?
Yeah. Yes. Like, are they really going to notice or be concerned with you if you're all the way... Have you seen the size of those parking lots? They're like, I don't know, half a mile
I gotta
long.
assume someone, probably a Karen, would be like, there's someone selling meat in the parking lot. There's just some guy selling meat out of his trunk.
Uh-huh.
All the packages are sliced open and it doesn't look good.
Well,
because that's the other thing. If you really want to get away with it, you have to get your own. Just come with oodles of Saran wrap and like a label maker with a working barcode. If you really wanted to pull the scam.
What if it was more like you just had Saran wrap out there and then you put on like a hat and some different outfits to look like a
this isn't
farmer or
Scooby-Doo. You can't just put new clothes on and people don't recognize you. Yeah.
No, I mean, okay, so you take the meat and you're wearing your normal clothes.
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
You're talking about the next time you go in.
No. I'm talking about when I get out to sell my meat from the stand or the trunk of my car in the parking lot. I'm gonna switch my outfit.
Okay.
And and then I will offer like whole, here's this bacon and this pork chop came from the same pig. Would you like to buy both? Just like a classic
so in
Amish
that scenario,
meat stick.
the wardrobe change means even less. Because either way, someone's going to be like, there's a dude selling meat in the parking lot. I think you should do something about this. Because then the cops are going to come, and then they're like, why are you selling meat in the parking lot?
Right.
And it doesn't really matter what you say, because it's probably going to come out. They're going to look at the packages that are all sliced open and gross.
I'll switch the packages really quick. I'll just wrap it in saran wrap.
Okay.
After. In between. Sort of.
In between.
And then if they come up and
between the door and the car.
If the police come and they say, "Sir, how come you're selling meat here in this spot?" I'll say, "Oh, I just thought that people deserve organic and good food. And this store doesn't sell organic good food like I like, and I apologize. I should probably go." And then I will just head on out and start up somewhere
There's
else.
also probably going to be some kind of quick investigation into the trunk of your car, and is it properly refrigerated to hold vast volumes of meat that have also been in other meats.
Well, listen, here's the other thing that...
I mean, I think at the end of the day, what we're really looking at, we're looking at some serious charges here if we get caught, because that meat will kill people. And that's just, we're
It'll
looking
be
at
in coolers.
at least some kind of manslaughter, if not, one of the degrees
Couldn't
of
I
murder.
just put it in a cooler?
You could, I guess. That solves one problem, but
then
switching the packages
will
just not work.
Here's my other plan about it is once I've done this a few times and gotten some people who like me, some regulars, because despite your attempts...
I don't think you're going to get
Despite
regulars.
your attempts to put holes in my crime, it's going to work and it's going to be tremendous. Okay? So then I'm going to get regulars. People are going to like me. And they're going to say, Paul, I have never gotten cheaper meat from you and high quality. Like, my barbecue game is out the roof, through the roof. Through the roof or out
Through the roof.
My barbecue game is through the roof. I fucking love you. I love everything about you. I really just need some bacon, though, this time. And I'd love to get, like, a leg of lamb or whatever, a few different things. I say, oh, no problem. I start taking down orders. Take down enough orders, and I don't know. Then I go rob a butcher store. And fulfill the orders. Then I have a direct to...
Okay.
And I know I can sell everything I take.
So we go from switching packages to potentially just full-on robbing butcher shops.
You could hide in... You could go in right before closing time. And one person could distract.
Couldn't you just break in at night?
The other person could go in the freezer. And then when the store closes, I'll break in and you'll break in out of the freezer and we'll get the meat at the same time.
You're saying someone hide in the freezer, wait for hours until closing.
Not hours.
Well,
10 minutes.
how long does it take for the what? How much of a crew does this butcher shop have? How long does it take to clean? Closing can take a while. It's not just you flip the sign on the door and you're done.
You'll have a blanket,
including probably an inspection of a blanket. What the fuck is wrong with you? Also, they're going to be inspecting the freezer too.
Okay, well, regular rob. Forget that. Regular robbing.
Yeah, probably
at
nighttime.
At night, hammer, smash
and grab.
Yeah, and then all the orders are fulfilled though already ahead of time because of the people who liked me because of the meat operation.
Because of the meat out of the trunk situation.
Yes, because of that.
Yeah, might work.
From now on, I'd like you to call me Meaty Paul.
Meaty Paul?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna stick.
Whatever. Fuck you. This is a good idea.
It could work. I think it's gonna get people killed, but that's also a crime. So fuck it. I think it works beautifully.
Okay. That's all I need to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we wrap things up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, this was the first.
Thank you.
Goodbye. This isn't even. Shut the fuck. I'm gonna do some credits, and you're gonna listen to me when I do the credits.
Go ahead, do the credits. I'm gonna sit back. I won't say anything.
I don't want to hear a fucking word out of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna break your fucking legs.
You got it. I'm quiet, boss. I'm quiet.
So, don't. I see your hand coming up, and I don't want to deal with it. All right. So this was.
Go ahead and do the credits.
The test pilot for our show, The Perfect Crime.
Do you want me to just sit here and be quiet?
Starring Michael Cavallo.
Should I not say anything?
Paul Hudacek. Is that how you say your name?
I should just keep quiet for
and
this whole time.
Special thanks
While you're
to
doing this.
our editor, producer, all kinds of good stuff, Rachel. Last name's failing me because
you're an asshole.
I am an asshole.
I forgot your last name. You forgot her last name.
I was put on the spot, and I forgive you for your earlier transgression.
Her last name's not important anyway. Really, this is about Mike
Tesh. That's the one. Rachel Tesh, our editor and our commander.
Paul Hudacek and Michael Spaghetti.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's the fucking show.